In this video I've got a new windscreen replacement on this Toyota Hi-Lux. It's a dealer part. I'm just going to go step by step through the whole process, show you how it's done. So I've already checked the windscreen's fine, gave it a clean up, removed all the stickers, made sure there's no damage to it, all the connections are as they should be. So I need to strip down the interior, rear view mirror, etc. This camera housing cover just pushes straight down, pops off, and then just pop off this connection here. The camera should just fall off. Got another wired connection here, just disconnect that. I've got another connection up here. This housing just pops off as well. It's the same, just disconnect the wire. This rear view mirror has got a screw in it, it pushes onto the bracket, so I'm just going to unscrew that slightly and release it. Just give it a couple of turns and it should just lift off. I'll just leave that hanging like that. Then there is a couple of height locating clips in the windscreen, one at either side, and that's what's going to hold the windscreen up in place until the glue dries. So that's the interior stripped down. I'll now remove the wiper arms and scuttle panel. So I've got to remove the wiper arm nut covers. Just pop them off with my little terminal dibber. It's quite a new vehicle, so these wipers should remove quite easy. Sometimes older cars the nuts can seize on. I've got to spray it with WD-40 and just be patient with it. It's a 14mm nut on these wipers. Just remove both nuts, make sure you don't drop them into the engine bay. And to remove the wipers, I'll just flex the elbow here, and that'll just release it from the spindle. Same on the other side, flex. I've got to pop these trims off. So I can get the scuttle panel off. I think these have been off before. These are just held in with two clips. Just remove this seal. And then we'll just remove any scuttle securing clips. There's one there, one at either side. We've got these these rubber plastic side trims here. I just pull off, these just tuck under the wing, just pull them out. They're no plastic, they're just rubber. Same on the other side, pull it straight out. And the scuttle panel should just lift straight out, just firmly pull it just to release the centre clips that are in here, that are actually attached to the scuttle, and this just lifts straight out. As you can see, there's plastic clips attached to the scuttle panel that go under the windscreen, so the windscreen basically sits in between here. So that's everything stripped down. I can cut the windscreen out now. I'm just going to disconnect the heated windscreen connection. It'd be quite tricky to get these out. I've just got to burst the old one away. There's three clips in here that connect to brackets on the bodywork. I need to break them away. Just be careful not to damage anything while you're doing it. Quite tricky to get into. Just get underneath it. So that's disconnected. So everything's disconnected on the glass, the scuttle and wipers are removed. Now I can just go ahead and cut the windscreen out. Now this is a trimless glass, which means there's no trim on the glass. So it's basically trimless, the bond line goes underneath here, so there's a gap all the way around. So once I'm cutting it out, you've got to be really careful not to cut it to damage the paintwork. I'm just going to use my walkie multi-tool with my fane blades just to get right into the back of the urethane. Just being extra careful at the corners, just so the blade doesn't slip. I'll just remove it at this plastic piece here. So that's cut right through. The urethane that Toyota uses, really good stuff. It dries, it's quite a rubbery, which is quite easy to cut through. Great tool that, especially in the winter when the when everything's cold and the glue really hardens up. So that's the top and sides out. I'll put my gloves on. I'm just going to cut the bottom away with my long knife. Put a new blade on it. A lot of companies don't use these anymore, they're outlawed. I don't see the problem really if you're experienced and you know what you're doing. It's all about the user and not just the tool, as far as I'm concerned. Just got to judge every job accordingly. So I'm going to spray some glass cleaner down the front of the bottom of the windscreen. So when I go to put the blade along it, it's not going to snag with it being dry. So I'll just put pressure on the glass, and I'll just nice long even strokes along the urethane tight to the window. Just making sure I'm not going to damage the dash or the bodywork underneath it. That's halfway along. You can see how easy that cuts through when it's done properly, especially with a fresh blade on it. And some glass cleaner as lubricant. Same again, I'll just, nice and easy. I'm just going to hold the top of the glass here, because when it comes away, just going to make sure it doesn't go all over the place. That's it. I think this is a warranty job as well, so I'm just going to put the windscreen in my van at the moment, and I'll just take it into the dealership once I'm finished. So that's the windscreen cut out. Just going to cut the old bond back now. Just give my scrapers a quick sharpen up. Just got two widths of blades. Sometimes you can't get the wide blade up the side because there's not a big gap there. You can dig into the A-pillar trim. I just use a narrower blade at the sides. Just being careful not to dig into the pillar trims or the paintwork, and just cut the bond line right back to the body. You won't get everything off, but you really want to leave a little bit on anyway to reactivate with the new bond. The audio cut out. I've got to use a separate audio setup because the audio on my point of view camera is terrible. So I just do a separate audio and I'll just sync it up with the video on my editing software. I'm not going to do as much editing as I have been doing the first few months of my YouTube journey, as it simply takes up too much time, and I've not got the time. I'm really busy fitting windscreens. It's taken 2 or 3 hours at night to edit videos, It's just too time consuming. If the YouTube really did kick off and start gaining momentum, I could probably get somebody to edit the videos for me. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. In the meantime, I'm just going to start putting full videos on. Just full unedited videos, the full installation procedure, easy for me to say. So I'm just vacuuming any dirt away from the pinch weld here. I'll just brush any remaining dust off it before we start cleaning up the bodywork and applying the primer. So I'm just cleaning up the edge of the glass with this wipe that comes with, it's actually came with a bond kit at the dealership. They supply the bond kits. So I'm just cleaning up the glass edge and the pinch weld just to get rid of any contaminants, any silicone residue or moisture, any dirt. Give that a good clean down. So once that's done, I'm just going to apply the black primer. This is to give the polyurethane proper adhesion. And I could also cover any little nicks or scratches that's on the bodywork. Just making sure to put the primer where the bond is going to go so it catches it round the edge. And I know on these at the bond line is a couple of inches up from the bottom. I can double check that by just checking the old glass. It's actually more than a couple of inches, it's only a couple of inches down from the bottom of the obscuration band. And I'll just follow the old bond line as guidance on the bodywork, just making sure not to put too much on above it because there is a gap between the bodywork and the glass here. I don't want to see this, have this black primer or even black urethane once I bond it up visible. So I've got to be really bang on with the application of the urethane. So we'll give that 3 to 5 minutes to dry. In the meantime, I'll get my gun ready for the urethane application. These nozzles on here are the best, but I've just got to, they're pre-cut, but I've got to cut them a little bit myself because they're not very good. They're not very, it's hard to explain, but the glue doesn't come out very good. Right, so that's that set up. I'm going to have to use my lifting on my little buddy. One-man lifting tool. It's quite a high vehicle. Struggle to lift that in on my own. So I'll just clean that window off. I'm going to attach my pivot arm onto the side. I just set this up. Put the pivot arm on the side glass, making sure that the side glass is fully up. So there's no pressure on it, not enough pressure on it when I'm lifting the windscreen in. Now I can turn this windscreen over, give it a quick clean. And I'll tape the heated screen connection to the outside of the glass. A bit windy here. So I'll just tape that on the outside of the windscreen a bit. Couple of bits of masking tape. I don't need to put tape on the outside because there's 2 locating clips on the outside. Just apply my suckers, my lifters, and then I can put the piston arm. This just lines up at a certain position. Put this on the glass. So when I go to lift it in, this piston arm hooks onto the pivot arm. So I've got something to hold one side of the windscreen as it's lifted in place. So I'm just going to go ahead and bond the window up now. Bond the bodywork up. Just got to go nice and slow. So I'll go nice and slow because I don't want any overspill down here. nearly get round with one tube. I maybe could have got right round if I didn't use such a high bead, but so to make sure there's enough urethane on it. Once that's bonded up, I'll just go around and make sure everything's neat and tidy. Join up the joins. That's good to go. Just make sure these are on properly. And it's just a case of lifting the windscreen in. So as I say, this piston arm just hooks onto the pivot arm. If the wind doesn't stop catching it, and I can just walk round with it. And just align it up. And I need to make sure that this is going in nice and tidy. Got a bit of tape in it. Fuck. I'll just unhook that. I'm just putting tape on it until I get these locating clips located in the right place. That's that side in. Make sure this locator clips in. Yep, bang on. The weight of the windscreen pushes it into the glue. I don't really need to do anything else. That's fine, just make sure the gap on either side's the same. Pretty much. Yep. So once that's done, it's just a case of a reversal of what I've done at the start of the job. just build everything back up.